Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The Ministry of Tourism has received an increased allocation in the 2026 national budget, totaling over $48 million. In his contribution to the 2026 budget estimates, Minister of Tourism and Civil Aviation, Dr. Kishore Shallow, outlined plans to strengthen the international marketing of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The minister noted that significant work remains to ensure tourism sites across the country are more attractive and visitor-ready.
This increase would ensure that these facilities, these recreational sites, are maintained. Vermont Nature Trail, which I'm sure the minister who just spoke will appreciate, Cumberland Nature Trail, Cumberland Beach Recreation Park, Trinity Falls, Falls of Balen, and the others right across the country. Some of the other, my colleagues, other ministers have already reached out about other sites that are in dire need of development. And so this and other areas in the estimates will adjust that. The Tourism Authority, they will enjoy an increase in this estimates of 13%, representing $2.6 million. This suggests the government's commitment to showing more aggression with our marketing ventures and, of course, fostering a profitable and sustainable tourism industry.
Dr. Shallow said that National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority has been allocated more than $500,000 to improve its operations and enhance the upkeep of these natural assets.
Installation of bins, garbage bins, yes, we need those as well at these sites. And vending stall, that program is valued at $701,800. Second phase of improvement of tourist sites on the program 902603, $1 million. We also, for civil aviation, will be investing $1,040,000 for the procurement and installation of an air traffic management system. And we have one final program, 902403, for improvement of sites at Darkview Falls, Brighton Salt Pond, Botanical Gardens, and a few others worth $610,000.
Minister Shallow also announced that Fort Charlotte is expected to begin receiving visitors again soon as rehabilitation work at the site continues to advance.
Final stage of Fort Charlotte, an area that we have all probably visited a few times, even as locals, so you could imagine the appreciation that the tourists will have for that site. But this $9 million under the UBEC project will see the completion of that rehabilitation of that Fort Charlotte and also development of a recreational site at Trumka Bottom Bay.
Additionally, the minister stated that efforts are underway to improve capacity across the various departments within the ministry. He emphasized that these initiatives form part of a broader strategy to embed tourism as a national culture and drive sustainable growth in the sector. And the Ministry of Family, Gender Affairs, Persons with Disabilities and Labor has received an allocation of $17.4 million in the 2026 budget estimates. Minister responsible for the ministry, Lavon Gibson Velox, said that recurrent expenditure amounts to $15 million, with $1 million allocated for policy development. She noted that child development remains a priority area, receiving a further $1 million increase in funding.
Madam Speaker, this increase reflects enhanced allocations for foster care, kinship, institutional payments to support the care, protection and well-being of children who are unable to remain in their biological homes, meaning the homes with their parents for one reason or the other. Since I have come to this ministry, Madam Speaker, I have come across a lot of children who are abused and mistreated and have come into trouble with the law And to me, this is very disheartening. It is hurtful. And I sometimes can't even deal with it because these children obviously have come out of broken homes, have not been cared for. And this is something that our government has to pay a lot of attention to because we have too many children in need of help in this country.
Minister Velox also stated that Gender Affairs has received an increased allocation of $300,000. Additionally, with the ministry now responsible for labor, several key programs will be funded to strengthen and improve workers' rights.
Madam Speaker, the Labor Department, which has now been incorporated into this newly established ministry, and I have to stress on newly established ministry, has been allocated $1,844,071 for 2026. This allocation will support labor administration, industrial relations, employment services, and the enforcement of labor legislation. Madam Speaker, the inclusion of the Labor Department within my ministry allows for a more integrated approach to workforce development, occupational safety, and protection of workers' rights. Our local government division has been allocated $6,253,542 for 2026. This allocation will support the operations of local authorities, community services, sanitation, and maintenance across communities.
Meanwhile, the government minister said that capital expenditure of $1 million will be directed towards projects in various communities across the country.
Of the ministry's program, the total capital expenditure allocation for 2026 is $1,761,030. This allocation will support several critical initiatives, including the relocation of the cemetery project, aesthetic improvements in 3 towns throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including Caliacua, community revitalization projects, the Occupational Health and Safety Project, which is new to the Ministry of Labor, renovation of the Labor Department in preparation for relocating and expanding to include the Occupational Health and Safety component.
In other local news now, we hear that opposition leader Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has expressed concern over what he describes as the government's decision to hire external consultants to manage aspects of the country's finances, warning that the move could ultimately backfire. On the radio today, Dr. Gonsalves made a comment while addressing recent reports that the government has engaged consultants to assist with financial and economic matters at a time when the country continues to navigate fiscal pressures and negotiate with international lending institutions. The opposition leader said that based on the information available to him, the consultants do not possess the requisite expertise in public finance. He argued that this is an area already well within the competence of existing finance personnel, who he said are fully capable of managing the country's financial affairs.
Something which the government has to be careful with is this. I know persons are going to say to me, Ralph, to advise them. They bring in a couple of consultants. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring in consultants if you want. But none of the consultants whom they have brought in, whether it's a general economist or a general developmental specialist, none of them is grounded in public finance and the fiscal situation of St. Vincent and Grenadines, like the people who are inside of the Ministry of Finance and Planning. Not like Edmund Jackson, the Director General of Finance and Planning, nor Kent Morris, the Budget Director, and their professional staff under them.
Dr. Gonzalez further stated that financial matters could be more effectively handled by officers within the Ministry of Economic Planning, noting that they have long-standing experience and a strong understanding of the operations and expectations of international financiers.
None of them will know on the capital side of the budget in terms of specific issues in relation to funding like Ricardo Frederick. Take, for instance, I see they say they're putting on hold certain things with the Saudi fund and that they will repurpose the money. They think the money is there to be repurposed by themselves. The Saudi fund will tell them, but we have long gone along with all of these things. We have done this thing. It's too late for us to be repurposing all of these things. Or, if the Saudi fund say, okay, you want to repurpose? Okay, let's involve in discussion. And I'm telling you, what they want to repurpose to, the length of time it would go through the Saudi fund bureaucracy, and for the consultations to go over from the beginning and all the technical things.
And the newly elected Executive Committee of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Awards Authority, the SVG-NNAA, the umbrella body responsible for the administration of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, paid a courtesy call on the newly sworn-in Governor General on Friday, January 30, 2026, at the office of the Governor General. The Governor General serves as a patron of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award, SVG. A news release tells the meeting provided an opportunity for the executive to formally congratulate His Excellency on the assumption of office and to reaffirm the National Award Authority commitment to national development, youth empowerment, and civic excellence through the award program. The release further states that during the engagement, discussion centered on the role of the National Awards Authority in recognizing outstanding service and leadership, as well as the continued impact of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award in fostering personal development, resilience, and community engagement among young people across the nation. His Excellency welcomed the group and expressed appreciation for the work of the National Awards Authority, noting the importance of initiatives that encourage service, discipline, and national pride. The Governor General commended the team for their contribution to youth development and nation building and encouraged the continued expansion and strengthening of the award program. The SVG National Awards Authority Executive reaffirmed its commitment to working in partnership with national stakeholders to uphold the values of service, excellence, and integrity, and to inspire Vincentians, particularly the youth, to contribute meaningfully to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The award program is open to young people between the ages of 14 to 24 years to register for the program and complete their bronze, silver, and gold medals. Welcome back. In more local news now, we hear that more than 5,000 books were handed over to the Hands Across the Sea organization by the Musty Charitable Foundation in an initiative aimed at improving literacy in 22 schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The books, which were presented at the National Library, are expected to benefit approximately 2,506 early learners. Hands Across the Sea literacy personnel in SVG, Anna Bullock, said that since its inception 19 years ago, the organization has made a significant impact and continues to do so through its focus on literacy, particularly among children.
She was founded in 2007, right here in St. Vincent, when a U.S. couple visited our shores and was captivated not only by the beauty of our landscape, but also by the warm welcome and smiling faces of students as they visited a primary school. They observed the lack of child-friendly books in the school, and after some dialogue with the Ministry of Education, it was the beginning of a great partnership. From a few boxes of used books at the time, we have transitioned to providing brand new, colorful, age-appropriate, and culturally relevant books for the past 18 consecutive years.
Chief Education Officer, K. Martin Jack, underscored the importance of the initiative, noting that it augurs well for the Ministry of Education. She said the program is helping to build a literate generation, which is essential for the country's development.
You see what is being presented and you recognize the opportunity that you would have within your possession to ensure that those children within your care, wow, it's an awesome opportunity and an awesome responsibility. And to have these added resources makes it even better. Today, we proudly witness the continued generosity of Hands Across the Sea, an organization that has consistently extended its support to our educational endeavors. So on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Vocational Training, Innovation, Digital Transformation, and Information, I express our heartfelt gratitude for their generous donation of books and resources that will directly support learning, particularly in the formative early years.
A representative of the Mustique Charitable Foundation was not available for the handover. However, a message read on their behalf outlined the foundation's aim to raise literacy levels in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The theme for the Hands Across the Sea program is creating a brighter pathway for literacy, one book at a time. And the Juicy Primary School's Performing Arts Festival, PRISPAF 2026, was officially launched earlier today, signaling the start of another vibrant celebration of youth creativity and cultural expression across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The festival, an initiative of the Department of Culture in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries, brings together primary school students from across the country to showcase their talents in music, dance, drama, and other performing arts. Coordinator of PRISPAF 2026, Leslie Ann Millington, described the festival as a vital platform for building confidence, discipline, teamwork, and self-expression among children. She announced that preliminary judging will take place over the next 2 weeks across all zones, leading to 2 grand performance days on the 25th and the 26th. Director of Culture, Maxine Brown, reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to youth and cultural development, emphasizing that programs such as PRISPAF play a key role in discovering and nurturing talent from an early age. Regional Category Manager for Beverages at ECGC, Kelvin Franklin, who confirmed ECGC's continued sponsorship through its Juicy brand, noted that the festival remains a permanent feature on the company's calendar. The mouth is the gateway to overall health, according to senior dental surgeon Dr. Brandon Richards. Dr. Richards made a statement during a recent radio appearance where he emphasized that oral health goes far beyond caring for the teeth and gums. He explained that other areas of the mouth, including the cheeks and the tongue, must also be considered when practicing proper oral hygiene, as these areas can harbor bacteria that may negatively affect overall health.
Oral health is not just about healthy teeth and gums. It's about an overall healthy oral apparatus, so that it's not just the gums and teeth that you want to check and make sure that they are looking and feeling right, but that the tongue and cheek are also in healthy condition. So it's the entire oral cavity. So we're looking not just at the teeth and gums, but people often forget that those teeth and gums are housed in cheeks and lips, and all of that we need to take into consideration when considering oral health.
Dr. Richards further highlighted that the mouth is the body's primary entry point for nutrients. He noted that without proper oral function, nutrition would be compromised, which could eventually lead to serious health issues, including organ failure. Maintaining a healthy mouth, he said, is essential for effective digestion and normal bodily function.
It is through the mouth that we're able to nourish the rest of our body. So anything going wrong with the mouth means that we may not be able to nourish our body as well as we should, and so different organs and systems may suffer as a result. So keeping the mouth healthy means that we may very well be saving not just our hearts and lungs and kidneys, but other organs that depend on the mouth to make sure that we break down our food well so that they can get the nutrients that they require.
Additionally, Dr. Richards stated that a well-maintained mouth contributes significantly to improve overall health. A good oral hygiene, he explained, supports the body systems and help reduce the risk of infections and other health complications.
Like the mouth, which is not isolated from the rest of the body, we are one. It's an entire organism made up of different organs that comprise systems that give us one organism that works together. So when you have a mouth that is well taken care of, it improves our heart health.
Right. Okay.
If the mouth becomes sick, so that there is infection there, very easily that infection can travel from the mouth through the blood vessels that line the oral cavity directly to the heart. And if that infection is not controlled, it spreads very easily. And once it gets to the heart, which is like the pumping station, an infection that gets there is going to be pumped, unfortunately, to the rest of the body, and therefore you end up with sepsis that spreads throughout. So we want to have a healthy mouth so we can maintain a healthy heart.
Dr. Richards encouraged members of the public to adopt consistent oral care practices and to seek regular dental checkups as part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Director of the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, Shafia Horn-Beek, says the organization will mark its 10th anniversary with a special day dedicated to ending hunger. Speaking during an interview on NBC Radio Face-to-Face program today, Horn-Beek explained that the anniversary observance will focus on community involvement and reflection rather than celebration.
We asked the government to declare, and I have agreement from the current minister to support that April 6th, when we started operations, be called Zero Hunger Day. That's the first thing. Why we want to declare the Zero
Not necessarily a public holiday, though.
No, it's not a public holiday. It's just a day when we as a country reflect and get into volunteerism, get into doing something on that day that is support to the mandate of Zero Hunger Trust Fund. That whether it could be working with your elders, community,
sharing something at the school,
getting corporate involved, public sector involved to give back. That's the whole basis of that day. It's not.
Horn-Beek also highlighted the continuation of the We Can initiative, noting that it remains a key component of the Trust Fund's outreach efforts. Additionally, she announced plans for the first Zero Hunger Dialogue, which she said will help shape the direction of future programs and projects.
Internally, last year we sorted something we call We Can, which is Zero Hunger staff, and we asked the other members of the public service to join us in donating cans to give back to our elderly. And it was fairly successful, so we want to expand that this year and make it a longer period of time. We did that within a week, and the support was overwhelming. So those are the kind of things that we will be pushing. We will be launching the commemoration on April 1st. No, it's not Fools. And that we are having what we call the first Zero Hunger Dialogue with the launch. We want to get persons to tell us what they see and how they see that we can end hunger by 2030. It's a mammoth task to try to end hunger by then, but we are going to try to see how much an impact we can have, so that the dialogue is basically formal but informal in terms that we don't really want to talk to people. We want people to talk to us at that dialogue.
Horn-Beek also expressed interest in launching a new initiative dubbed 10,000 Gardens, aimed at encouraging households across the country to establish home gardens as a sustainable way to improve food security.
Then we have things like we want to launch something that we call 10,000 Gardens by 2030. Zero Hunger is a sustainable development goal 2. That tells you the importance of that goal internationally. And we think if we started producing our own food, it reduces the vulnerability. So we're going to try to see if we can get Vincent Chance at least 10,000 households having gardens by 2030, and not just starting, but maintaining gardens, change behavior where you eat what you grow. We are going to have what we call a Zero Hunger Gala and awards, recognizing some of our beneficiaries and sponsors and program development. We are going to have a whole month of activities where we are going to do things that we are encouraging others to do.
Right.
The Zero Hunger Trust Fund Director says more details on the anniversary activities and upcoming initiatives will be announced in the coming weeks.